And greetings once again, primitive Earth humans. Welcome back to another episode of Skyfactory 2.4 with AlienPet13. So, okay, we're pretty much, let's put our helmet on. Pretty much ready to go into space now. And, take a look, we're gonna bring, both our backpacks with us. We've got our mining backpack. Just in case we want to do some mining, got our builder's wand in there. We've got our space backpack, we've got a rocket in there. I went ahead and crafted up a tool forge and a couple of ender buckets. These ender buckets, if you look at, oops, let's see. Let's pull it out of the backpack, I guess, before we can click R and see the recipe. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, you need 3 pieces of this ender alloy. You need an inactive ender core, a bucket, a couple hooks of obsidian. But what's great about these, you can see they've got all kinds of crazy properties. I think you can link these to tanks and things like that. The thing I like most about it is they hold 16 buckets of fluid. So, you know, for instance, anytime you're building like a mob farm or something and you need lots and lots of, buckets to place the waters in the corners and all that kind of stuff. Grab yourself or create one of these ender buckets here, and it'll hold 16 buckets. You can see 16,000 millibuckets. 1,000 millibuckets is a full bucket. So we'll bring a couple of those with us. We can make a lava generator, once we get up to the moon. And, or rather, lava generator, derp, rather a cobblestone generator. And we've got water there, and let's see, yeah, I got a tool forge, brought some alumite ingots with us so that we can, repair our, alumite bolts, crossbow bolts when we use them. We've got ourselves a vibrant capacitor that is fully charged. We've got a couple of, stacks of energy conduit there, a little bit of wood. I'm bringing 4 extra, heavy oxygen tanks that are filled. Some oak leaves, our ender pouch, we can send stuff back home if we want to. Bring an angel block with us, and we got about 29 buckets of fuel in our fuel drum here. A couple oxygen bubble distributors. The fuel loader, I don't know if we'll really, we may need that. In fact, something we did forget that we may also need for that fuel loader. We need a way to pipe fuel into it, so we're going to need some fluid conduit. Sure, we'll just bring these 6 pressurized fluid conduits with us. That's probably more than enough. We'll only really need 1. But, just to lead from the drum into the fuel loader. Bring about 4 oxygen collectors and an oxygen compressor so we can collect some oxygen and be able to refill our oxygen tanks here. I think the bubble distributors and other types of oxygen distributors require 2 collectors for each one of these, so that's why we've got 4 oxygen collectors, 2 bubble distributors. So that way we can run 2 of these bubble distributors, and each collecting from 2 collectors should be enough to keep those running at full. And we've got 4 tier 4 solar panels that each generate about 256. So that'll give us about 1024 RF per tick generating from that. And we've got our rocket with us, as well as our launch pad here. But now the good thing about it, 4 empty canisters here so that we can collect fuel and things like that and refuel our rocket and so forth. So I think we're pretty much ready to go to space right now. But again, this is a void world generated by the Why You Know Make Good Map mod. So that's going to screw up the moon dimension unless we turn that mod off. We don't want to turn that mod off while we're in the overworld, or we will start to get terrain generation, I think somewhere between 128 to 256 blocks from our home base here, and we don't want that. We want this to remain a void world. So, like I mentioned in a few other previous episodes, the way we work around that in a Sky Factory world is we first have to stop off at our, let's see, at our space station. So we've, you hold control and scroll with the mouse wheel while holding our ender porter here. And we can see we've got this label that says Advanced Ender Porter is actually a crystal that hasn't been set to anything yet. We're going to set that to the moon once we get there. But we've got our choices between our space station, the end dimension, and the overworld. So we're going to switch that to space station now. And we'll right click this, hold it for a few seconds, and when you let go, it's going to transport us to our space station. So we'll do that right now. And then poof. We don't even need our rocket. Okay, now that we are at our space station, we can travel to the moon from here, but we're going to have to save the game, log off, quit the game, and we're going to have to go and mess with the enabled mods in our ATLauncher. So, first thing we want to do though, I think we can go ahead and pull out our rocket and our launch pad, and I did fully fuel up this rocket before I harvested it from the launch pad at home, so it's already chock full of fuel. We don't have to refuel it or anything. All we gotta do is place down our 9 launch pad blocks here and toss our rocket down. If we get inside and hit the F button, we can check our fuel and inventory, and we can see that our fuel is full. And then we'll hit shift to exit our rocket. It always puts you in third-person mode when you exit the rocket for some reason. But, okay, let's get back down so we're standing on the ground. So we're ready to go to the moon now. So, but again, we need to turn off Why You Know Make Good Map mod. So what we're going to do is we're going to save and quit. We're going to quit the game, go back to our desktop here. And always back up your game before you do this. So now we can see we've got our game backed up. Now what we're going to want to do is click this Edit Mods. And the mod we're looking for is, let's see, everything after, I think, Vein Miner here. Or these are all the mods that I've added. Archimedes ships. Blah, 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 all these mods here. But the mod we are concerned with is this one here. Why You Know Make Good Map. Adds a world type option to generate nothing except for initial spawn person. So this is basically if you are familiar with the original Skyblock map, there, at the time that was created, there was no such thing as void world generation in Minecraft. The guy who created that original Skyblock map, all he did was take pre-generated a world, he took it into MC Edit, and he just cut out a ginormous, huge square out of the middle. So if you remember the original Skyblock and Skyblock 2, you could actually travel. If you went something like 1,000 blocks in any direction, you would eventually run into land. Well, this mod was made to create Skyblock type world generation without having to, edit out. So basically what this mod does is it literally just generates a completely void dimension and adds just the single dirt block in there with a tree growing in it, and that's what the Sky Factory actually uses. So unlike the original Skyblock, if you're in Sky Factory, you could travel as far as you want in any direction and you will never ever see land. And that was one of the things that was a cheat in Skyblock. They would say, don't cheat by going to the land, because it would be very easy to cheat. Just build a bridge to the land and harvest resources there. Well, it's cheating. You're not supposed to do that. So they created this Why You Know Make Good Map, so we get actual void world generation options. So what we're going to do, We'll click that, and we're going to disable that mod, and we're going to close. Okay, now we're just going to restart the Sky Factory 2.4, relaunch our game. Okay, now that we're back to our load screen here, we're going to go ahead and load up our Sky Factory world. And okay, I'm getting some kind of weird errors from the Botania mod. I don't really care. I don't think I even make use of that mod, but anyway, okay, so we're back now at our space station, and why you know make good map is turned off, so we just want to make sure that we do not travel back to the overworld until we save and quit and re-enable why you know make good map. Just make sure and remember to do that. That's why it's good to save every time you switch that mod on or off. Of course, I didn't do a backup now, but I will after we travel to the moon. So, let's hop in our rocket, and we are fully fueled, and we shall launch. And now we can go to the moon. And hopefully, if all works well, we should have normal terrain generation once we get there. And off we go. Okay, and then of course, once we get high enough, we get to our planet selection screen here. It's part of Galacticraft. We can Galacticraft rather. Quaft? Did I call it Quaft? Galacticraft. That's what the ducks play. Okay, and we can click on the moon, and we will launch to the moon. Hopefully, if everything worked right, we will be able to land safely on the moon. And a fatal error has occurred. Okay, let's try reloading. Sometimes this happens when switching dimensions. And there we go. So, better hold our space button and slow ourselves down so we don't crash into the moon. And one of our fuel tanks, our oxygen tanks, does not look like it is full for some reason. So, no problem. We've got 4 extras with us. So we're coming up on the moon's surface, and soon we should be able to see the surface. And yes, looks like we've got a pretty good spot to land on here. Nice flat area. Right there. And swing-a-ding-ding, we have landed on the moon. So we'll hop out. We shall, let's see, first thing, of course, we need to do, we want to collect our fuel from our rocket. Let's grab a couple of these tanks here. Pop that in there, boom. And get our fuel back. And we can put these guys, put all this stuff away for now. So, swing-a-ding-ding, and it looks like our oxygen tank did show its amount of oxygen left in there just fine. So, one thing I think we will need to do, let's turn on our map real quickly here, and I'm going to have to move this map to a different spot, or I think you can go into the Galacticraft mod and switch your oxygen tank indicators to the other side of the screen. But we're just going to type LZ here, and make ourselves, let's see, we'll group this with moon, and yeah, put ourselves a map marker there. Not like it matters. I don't think it really matters. There's nothing left inside there. Anyway, we can destroy this lander, but I like to leave it there. And okay, so we are on the moon. So, first thing we should probably do a little flying around here and see if we can find ourselves any kind of landmarks here. And we can see in our big map there as well we're looking for villages. And we're also looking for, big old holes in the ground that would indicate a fortress dungeon, moon dungeon, which is another thing that we want to have. Let's see what kind of, oh geez, I'm getting over 119 to 138 FPS on this. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We'll go for a ways here and see if we can find anything interesting. Plenty of oxygen, which is why I like to do the large oxygen tanks. They last quite a while. If we start running low, we can switch out. We've got 4 extra ones in our backpack. Okay, so far we have not encountered any villages. And we'll just keep zooming around a little bit. We'll hit our M for our big map, and what's that over there? Yeah, see that hole in the ground? That is a dungeon. So let's see. One thing we should probably do, of course I brought a bunch of these glowstone torches with us, because regular torches will not work on the moon. And obviously the reason is because there is no air on the moon. So, okay. And we're going to place a marker here. There should be a few dungeons in the moon dimension. So we'll mark that one there. And then we'll keep doing a little bit more flying around exploring. We can build ourselves a base. But I prefer to just find a village. And then we can set up our oxygen there. So we've come far enough left. And then what we'll do is we'll just go back this other direction here and start filling in our map. Till we find ourselves a moon village with the absolutely useless moon people who you can't trade with or do anything with. You can kill them and we can probe them in the bung. But I don't even know if they have bungholes. So, just check the big map every now and then. I may cut some of this out and just kind of explore around until I have found what I'm looking for, till I find a village. Nothing yet. They're generally are fairly close to where you land. So it shouldn't be hard to find one. And here we go, there's a village. That's what we were looking for. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And right now it's daytime, even though the moon doesn't really have much of a day-night cycle. But we want to be able to kind of secure this place. What I should have done was brought shitloads of fences to keep the monsters out, because once it turns night here, it gets pretty scary. Lots of stuff in it. See, once we show up, a bunch of these trees which are already planted will start growing for us. So, yeah, give us a little bit of an oxygen supply. So I suppose we can pick one of these houses here. Yeah, it's kind of randomly generated little houses, like these ones here don't even have a real easy way to get into it. Suppose we can get into it over here, so just grab our mattock. And we'll clear some of this away so we can get into the door here. I guess that's a piece of, what is that? Is that a decoration block? We'll put that up there. Ka-ching. Hello, moon villagers. I am here to probe your bungs and to turn your cows inside out. Do you have any cows? I don't think they have cows. So, okay, we'll throw a couple torches up in here. Looks like it's already fairly well lit. Could be lit a little better. And we'll just set up shop in this place right here. So, I think first thing we're going to do is we will grab a little bit of our oak and make ourselves a crafting table. Oops. Lay derpage. Okay, let's try that again. I have to actually click it into my inventory, I guess, if I want to actually craft that crafting table. And we'll just slap her down right there for now. Sure, good enough. And next thing I think I want to do is make some more oak planks here. Let's make ourselves a door. I don't know if I brought any glass with me. And I'm going to use a little trick here that zombies will break your door down. But, you know, if you place the door like that, then they'll just come and they'll smack the crap out of the door. Always looking for creepers here. So, we can trick them by, we just stand sideways in the door here and we place it sideways. So, when we close the door, it still works as a barrier. But the zombies will see the door as open, so they won't bother trying to bust it down. They'll just be stuck and they'll just try to walk right through there. So, of course, if your door is open, they will see it as closed, even though it is not. So, that will hopefully keep zombies from messing with us. We could probably leave that space right there. Let's see. I want to leave a few little spaces here. Eventually, I'll put windows in here so that we can see outside. I'll open up these areas and put larger windows in there. But, so now, let's go ahead and mark our spot. We're going to switch our ender porter to, okay, this here is the empty crystal. And we're going to shift, right-click on the floor right there. See, now, we have set one of the crystals to transport us to the moon. So, we don't need our rocket now to get back home. All we have to do is switch our ender porter to space station. But we do have to remember to go back to the space station first, save and exit, and re-enable while you know make good map. So, and I think for the sake of showing you how to do that, we're not going to do too much more building here. I'm going to maybe we'll make a couple of chests so we can store stuff here. And let's see. We'll go ahead and just slap those guys down right here. Boy, they're annoying with their haw. Shut up. Or talk, or say something. Besides, huh? That's all they say. So I'll throw some of this moon turf in there, because we give no shits about it at the moment. So, maybe we can do a little bit with our, let's see. I suppose we can set up some solar energy right now. Let us take... oh, and we forgot some things anyway. We need sealable blocks in order for all this stuff to work, so... Good thing we can go home easily anyway, so let's just grab some energy conduit right now. Go ahead and break one of these. We'll have to put a sealable block in there. Or some type of... what we'll do is we'll just grab some conduit facades. And we'll build ourselves a little solar panel here. Build it up tall enough that we can walk under it. And put our solar panels right there. In fact, rather than dealing with the sealable block, what we'll do is we'll just put our capacitor right here. And that will serve to seal up that space. And we've got, fortunately, we've got trees right outside our window here. So, let's see. We can start setting up some of our oxygen, at least our oxygen collectors here. But I think what we'll do is we'll just bring our energy conduit around like this. Aha, and I heard a zombie. Except for, I don't think we have to worry about it. He's probably in a cave system underground. At least I hope so. Bring this guy around. And let's see. Why don't we do... We'll do this. We'll bring that across. Oh wait, no, we don't want to do that. Because we don't want that in the way of our oxygen pipe, so we'll bring it up one here. Then we'll bring them across. And let them meet up in the middle. Oops. And I think we'll just come off here. How's our oxygen tank supplies? Doing pretty good, I think. One extra piece there. So these guys are sucking in the oxygen right now. And let's see. Grab ourselves some oxygen pipes. And we're gonna run them just straight in. And again, we need to go back to the overworld and we'll go ahead and bust this out. But we do need to go back to the overworld and make some sealable blocks that we can run the pipe into. And that's gonna sit kind of right there. So right now, we'll go back inside. Ha ha ha. Are they laughing? This piece will be actually replaced with the sealable pipe. And let's see. Probably put some sealable pipes in the floor and stuff too, so let's find the center of this place here. Looks like it's this block right here. And what we're going to do is put our bubble distributor right there. Let's see, grab our bubble distributor. I think we're only going to need one for this place. Right here. And choom. We've got the cave system down here. Let's make sure we light this up so that no bad guys will spawn down here. That would be bad. We don't want no spawnings underneath our base. So, okay. And again, we'll continue with the pipe. We'll just run that. In fact, we can run the pipe right down the wall here. We don't even need that. We'll put 3 sealable blocks here, and then we'll run sealable blocks all the way around to here. We need to spin this around. And then, I think what we'll do is, doesn't have to be pretty right now, it just has to be functional. So we're gonna grab our energy conduit. And we're not gonna really, I think, we won't need to worry about seals so much here, because we're using a bubbles distributor. So, why don't we go ahead and connect this up all the way for the moment with just the standard oxygen pipe here. And we can see our bubble is growing, and when we stand in the middle of it, swing-a-ding-ding, we got ourselves a breathable atmosphere here. And it'll grow to mostly fill most of this space, I believe. So, okay, let's get our oxygen compressor. And we'll go ahead and set that up too. I think what we'll do is we'll just set it up right next to this. Bust out a couple blocks there. Ka-ching. We'll get power on that side. We'll get our oxygen pipe on this side. And we'll spin this guy until it's connected up right. So, we've got O2. We've got energy. And right now we're standing in a nice big oxygen bubble. So if we come outside, we can see that our bubble put that sucker right in the floor, and it just reaches the top here. So we've got our breathable oxygen in here. Ha ha ha. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Okay, and yeah, then we just need maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We just need 12 sealable blocks there to make this all look nice, and a couple of cable facades for this over here. So now, in fact, we can go to our inventory. Let's take off our oxygen tanks, toss them in there, and refill our O2. And give that a second. I think the rest of the stuff we can pretty much could put all this stuff away now. And we'll take these tin decoration blocks. We'll take we'll at least take one of them home with us, and one of these as well, so we can make facades out of them. We'll leave the rest here. We'll leave our oak here, and we got ourselves a birch sapling. We'll leave that there, and go ahead and put our glowstone torches back in our thing there. Let's see. I think what we'll do is we'll just take all of this stuff for now. We'll take this. We'll take all of these glowstone torches, and we can set up our tool station, and we'll store all this stuff here, because when we go home we can grab a bit more of this stuff. Got some extra food, some extra oak leaves, and okay, yeah, let's take our tool forge. We'll slap that guy down right there, and let's grab that one stack of torches though. And we'll throw up a torch here, and we'll go ahead and load our alumite, stack of alumite in there, so that way we can repair our tools and such. So, I don't know what time it is, but grab this fuel tank. We will recharge our other fuel tank, or fuel tank, oxygen tank, derp-a-derp. Let's give a quick look outside. It's still daytime. And I think, I don't know if beds work on the moon as far as sleeping, but what we can do, look at Galacticraft, is we can make a cryogenic sleep chamber. Yes, so we should probably make a couple of these. I think heavy duty plates. Do we have that? Oh no, we need the meteoric iron, which is the thing we're gonna get here on the moon when meteors crash. So, okay. Install our second oxygen tank there. And we have to spend some time on the moon, or at least allow the moon dimension to exist for a while before we're going to start to get meteors and things. So, but anyway, now that we're here, we're set up, we've got oxygen in a base here on the moon. We'll show you the reverse procedure to go back to the overworld from the moon. Now, as far as I know, we don't have to use the or turn off the no make good map mod when we return back to the moon here. As far as I know, once this dimension has set up its rules for world generation, it should stay that way. So new terrain generated in this dimension should not be affected by make good maps void world generation. But we're going to test that and make sure anyway. So, and let's see. We'll switch our wheel to space station. And let's go back to the space station. Okay, now we're back at the space station. And again, now what we need to do is we can switch this to overworld, but we don't want to go there yet. We want to save and quit and re-enable Why You Know Make Good Map mod. So we'll do that now. We're going to quit the game. And we're going to back up our world. Okay, and our world is all backed up. We're going to click Edit Mods. We're going to re-enable Why You Know Make Good Map. We'll close, make sure that is in the list. And there it is. We're enabled. Close. And then we'll click play again and relaunch the game. Okay, now that our game is loaded back up, we can go ahead and reload our world. And just a thing of note too, some people who are used to changing options in the config files, you may think you could just go into, save and quit and go into the configs and go into the config file for Why You Know Make Good Map, and you can change it from there to, full world generation. But I've tried that before, and it doesn't work. So, believe me, I've done lots of different things to try and make Galacticraft work with this, and the only thing that seems to work is to completely disable Why You Know Make Good Map. And it's not going to hurt anything for an already established world, because disabling the mod doesn't take out the config files. Your config file for that mod will remain in the folder. It just won't affect anything until you re-enable the mod. So, I think now we can switch our interporter to overworld, and now we can travel back. And if everything went well, we should still have our overworld intact with no terrain generation. We'll check once we get there, though. And now we are back home. So, and the way we make sure everything is cool is, first let's open our map, mini map here, and let's drop a marker here. And we'll name this group Overworld. And cool. So, turn on our mini map. And we'll just go travel off in some direction here. We'll take a look. We're at started at minus 160 something. So we'll go and go. I don't think you'd need to travel more than about 128 to. Oh, is this a swamp biome here? Yep, swampland. So we've gone about, good 128, if not more. Let's go another 120, so yeah. So we're well over 256 blocks away from our home spawn. And as we can see, there is no world gen. So, we're good. We're good. We'll just travel back home. I think, let me see. Can we, there is a feature in this, I think it's adventure map. I don't know. It's a little bit buggy. So don't be surprised if in future episodes all these map markers have been cleared, because it has a tendency to do that sometimes. So, as we can see, everything is cool in our overworld. Just disabling and re-enabling that mod when you leave and come back is pretty much your only workaround for Galacticraft, at least until a new version of Galacticraft comes out that takes into account something to do with the world gen. I guess they would have to add code in there that will allow it to work with Why You Know Make Good Map, and allow the Galacticraft dimensions to ignore the settings in those and go ahead and generate their terrain as normal. So, I think that's probably going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll grab some more materials, and I believe right now as well, we should be able to travel back to the moon straight from here without disabling Why You No Make Good Map mod, and everything should still be cool on our moon dimension. However, I'm going to do a little bit of testing between episodes and make sure that works. Otherwise, like I say again, we just have to stop off at the space station, save and quit, disable the mod, travel to the moon. When we come home, we just have to stop at the space station again, re-enable that mod, and then we can travel home. So, anyway, how much juice did we use in our thingy here? We used, let's see, not that much. See, we've got 425,000 charged, so takes about something like 25,000 each trip. So we could take quite a few trips with this here Enderporter. So, I think that'll do it for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please do remember to rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and always obey your alien overlords, or you will be probed in the bunghole. Once again, this is AlienPet13, signing off. Probe you later.